Welcome to Meet the Candidate with your host, Sulani Madsen. Meet the Candidate is your opportunity to see local candidates and hear about the experiences that have shaped their lives. Meet the Candidate is a nonpartisan community project brought to you by your friends at the Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, North by Northwest Digital, We Believe, We Vote, and the McGarry Law Office, the landlord's attorney. Now, here's Sulani.
Okay, so welcome to this edition of Meet the Candidate, and my guest today is Angie Beem, who is running for Spokane Valley City Council, Position 5. Welcome, Angie.
Thank you.
Glad that you could join us here today, and I always start with a real simple question, which is just tell me about where you grew up.
I was born and raised in the Wenatchee Valley. I graduated high school there, and then moved around a little bit, and ended up back in Wenatchee until I decided to change careers, which brought me to Spokane.
Okay, and that career is?
It was working in the microbiology lab of one of the hospitals here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we are the healthcare center here in the Washington area.
Yes, it was a lovely job.
Okay. What inspired you to go into microbiology?
Oh, I love science, and microbiology is so fascinating that it was my goal from the very beginning as soon as I found out I could take the laboratory sciences courses. So it was my goal, and I made it. So
did you have a first job that taught you some lessons?
My first job was working at the high school. I just worked in the office after school. Then I worked in an accounting office as an account. I can't remember what they called me. That was a long time ago.
Probably accounting tech or accounting clerk or something. Those
like
are general
that. Yes,
terms.
it was just the grunt work in the accounting department and stuff like that. And then I ended up in Portland, where I did various other kinds of jobs. So nothing too serious.
What with that first job at the school? What kind of lessons did you learn about yourself and work?
That I liked it, that I liked accomplishing things, that I liked structure and organization, and I learned hierarchy. I mean, I was just a senior in high school at the time, so I learned, the ins and outs of actually working with different level employees and who does what. So.
Okay. And how long have you been in Spokane Valley?
I have been in the Valley for around 17 years. So I moved here in 1999, and I've been here since.
Okay. Is there some particular organizations that you like to participate with in the Valley, or?
Actually not in the Valley, but I have a heart for our homeless population. So I've been trying to work as well as I can with the Hope House and Volunteers of America. I don't know if you know John, but...
I don't know John, but I do know Hope House and
there
Volunteers
you go.
of America.
Yes. So
good organizations.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure you remember that I was part of the Women's March organization, organizing the Women's March.
I don't remember because I wasn't. So
Okay. So that's the major thing that I did that got me to where I am right now.
Okay. So because I was going to ask, what inspired you to decide to run for city council? Because not everybody steps up to volunteer for public service.
Yes. After the march, and it was so successful, and I saw how we unified a community and everything, I thought about what I could do next, and then I got to thinking that I am able, I have the time that's necessary to do this position, and I feel it's my responsibility to step up. A lot of people, they work full-time jobs, sometimes 2 or 3 jobs. Right now, I'm disabled, and so I have time, and I have the ability to do it, so I feel like it's my responsibility.
Okay. I promised I wasn't going to ask political questions, but I'm looking for something else. Oh, I know a good question. This is usually for school district candidates, but is there a teacher that you admire?
Oh, yes. I had two very inspirational teachers. First was my kindergarten and second grade teacher, Mrs. Spees, and then my high school teacher, Mrs. Sellers.
And how were they inspiring?
They believed in me. They taught me well. They made the subject so interesting to me that it kept me engaged in education. So I really appreciated them.
Is there you must have done some education past high school for your microbiology. So where did you go to college?
Yes, I first went to the Wenatchee Valley College to get my laboratory sciences degree. Then while I was working in the microbiology lab, I got my bachelor's in digital design and visual communication.
Oh, wow.
And then I got
That's very different than the microbiology.
I have an eclectic education. Then I got my master's in business with concentration in operations management. So, yeah.
And where did you pursue those studies?
At the American Intercontinental University. It was all online.
Oh, okay.
On my spare time.
Okay. Oh, no, that works. Distance learning is really valuable for a lot of people.
It really was for me. I really appreciated it. So.
Is there something that you may have learned from that distance learning experience that could apply to getting more people involved with the Spokane Valley Council?
That's a good question. That's
wondering.
a good question. I don't know if it. I mean, for me personally, it was self-discipline. But as far as distance learning, as far as for the city council, I'm not sure how that would translate over.
I just was thinking of the challenges of getting people really involved in their city government, and I haven't had a candidate that I've interviewed so far, and we're 3/4 of the way through, who's had a significant distance learning experience. So
I see.
That's something a little different. I thought of it.
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest keys is you can talk remotely. So if you have a question, you don't have to meet me at wherever. You can send me an email. You can look at my Facebook page. You can do whatever, And I think that's probably might translate over into how we can do with city council. Just become available in any way possible.
And that's a big thing for many of the council candidates from the city and the valley have talked about that being accessible and how important that is.
Very important.
So have you had an opportunity to travel much?
I'm not much of a traveler. I'm really not. I did go down the western coast for a while, just for a quick trip several years ago, but no, I'm not much of a traveler.
Oh, that's fine. Everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite spot in the valley?
My favorite spot? I love the river. I go down to the river as often as I can just to be there, go along the trail and everything. We have a beautiful community, and hopefully it'll stay that way. So
I was hoping you'd say Marabou Point because I got to be project manager for that.
Oh, really? That place is beautiful.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
And then it feels like all that hard work was worth it.
It was. It's beautiful there.
So, yeah, I think the valley's been blessed to have that basically as its riverfront park from its inception.
Yes.
And so that's something that feels really good to have been part of. Well, I want to turn to that last question. That's your opportunity to tell voters exactly why should they vote for Angie Beem for Spokane Valley City Council Position 5.
I would just like to say that I am an ethical woman of integrity, and I listen. I'm going into this with ideas, but certainly not a personal agenda. And I would like to hear what others want from their city council, not what I want from the city council. I want to bring transparency where it has been lacking, and I really want the Spokane Valley to grow. We have abandoned lots and abandoned buildings all over, and that's proof that we're not growing and thriving. And I would like to see our community pull together and unite and grow and thrive in business, in residence, in fighting criminal activity, everything. So I really appreciate unifying communities since the Women's March. So that's something that I would really like to see happen here in the Valley.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, Angie.
Thank you so much.
Good luck on your campaign.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Meet the Candidate. Spokane Talks Online thanks our community-minded partners at Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, North by Northwest Digital, We Believe, We Vote, and the McGarry Law Office, the landlord's attorney, for helping make Meet the Candidate possible.